stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't.
Hey, and welcome to the first product review that I'm going to do on this channel. I've been kind of fascinated by this product because I saw it in the store and I was just slightly curious. You know, Crayola had come out with what appeared to be lines that looked a little nicer than their normal stuff that you picked up in the kids' back to school aisle. So I thought, well, we'll give it a try. We'll see what we get out of them. And so I found this book that they had as well. It's designed by Hallmark artists. It's a pretty thick book. It's got 80 pictures. They're all on one side, which I really like one side because I don't have to worry as much about bleed through. And I can use a little more media, it feels like, on these pages. Now they are very smooth. I like a little more tooth to my paper, so sometimes getting my color in there to layer was a little harder. But we'll get to that in a minute. This one that I picked out is the Elegant Escapes from the artist at Hallmark, featuring ornate icons. It has a good variety. You can see you got a pretty peacock here, and then you go to the beach, and then the next one's a wedding cake, and there's actually a couple wedding cakes in here. Birds nests, butterflies, flowers. Some are a little more folks arty, some are a little more just designs. So very good variety in all of these. They are perforated, so you can take them out of the book if you want. A couple things I did notice though is that you'll have one page that's really nice and crisp with its line, and then the next page kind of appears like a grainy print. And a little disappointed with that because I like my lines really nice and crisp. You see this one's crisp, and let me find out. Look through here. We'll go to one that, see, this one's a little more grainy feeling. This one as well. That's not my preference. I know that sometimes it's nice not to be so super crisp, but not for me on this. So I was a little disappointed again, as I said earlier, with that. Now to get on to the pencils. I also picked up the markers, and we'll look at those, especially once I saw that these were one-sided pages, because they tend to take marker pretty well. I had a set of Crayolas as well that I got when I was a child. I'm going to show you this case because this case is a behemoth of a case. It's hard to work with if I'm traveling because you can see it all folds up in here. Then it comes out and actually sit like this, which is a nice case. For Crayolas, because they've been in that nice case, most of them do not have a lead breakage problem because they've been in a hard case. Even though the case may have traveled quite a bit and been around, the pencils weren't bumped as much inside of the case, so they work pretty well. And the fact that I have had that now for a couple of decades speaks pretty well that they've lasted. So what I did on this one is I drew a line straight down, and I did one with the new pencils and one with the older ones. As you can see, this side, the newer ones, these are dual-ended, so it's nice because they don't take up as much room because you get twice as many colors. You see right here, good variety. They have fun names. I wish fun names equated into nice bold colors, but that's not always the case. As you can see on here, I had to press really, really hard with these. And in this one, I used the turquoise and the sky blue. Actually, put it in with the sky blues and then tried to do some blending in with the turquoise. On this one, I used the lime green for the green and the magenta. I used, as well as I tried to lay in some white to kind of be able to set up some light and dark effects. Again, I was having to push really, really hard to try to get the color in there. And so if you're looking to layer in colors and create a lot of effects with this, these probably aren't the pencils you want to use, but if you are just wanting some pencils for fun, you're only going to be coloring for short bursts of time, so your hand's not going to get so tired, and you're doing this just for fun, these will be fine. You don't need to go out and spend a ton of money on these. Over here, I use the ones that I've had forever just to see if there's any difference. I had an easier time with my older ones. If you can't tell, I was able to get a little more light and dark play there because my lighter area was able to be a little lighter. The white one worked pretty well in my old set, better than this one. I actually had an issue with this one. It's not going to show up on the camera because it is so tiny. But there's actually a red dot in the middle of this white that when I started laying in white before I got into any of the other colors, I was getting these red streaks on my paper, and I had to look, and sure enough, there's a little red vein in that white pencil, which a little bit disturbing considering it was brand new and it's leaving red streaks on my paper. Now on the package, I noticed when after I did this that they had all of these really bright, vivid colors that they had created. And I was having trouble thinking how that they could do that with these pencils, because I had pressed so hard, you know, and the magenta is looking about that dark and this turquoise is getting that dark, and I mean, I was going in and really trying to push it in. So I set up on this back here to try to recreate some of the things that they had done, and I was pleasantly surprised. I did these 3 leaves right here with the Crayola, and they turned out really well, I thought. I did this flower right here as well. Now to get a little bit of a contrast going here, I did this one with my Kohinoor Polycolors, and those are an oil-based pencil. It took half the time, leaf to leaf comparison. I was able to get a little more color play in it. And so I think that the artist grade here really did show that they were a little bit better, but pleasantly surprised in here for what I was able to do with the Crayolas. And over here, there's not really that much of a difference in this one. The only big difference I saw was that this is my standard pink. This wasn't a violet pink compared to that magenta there, is that this pink in my Kohinoor Polycolors was a lot more vivid than the other pink. And so I like my bright pinks like that. I was a little disappointed in all of the colors, because you can see here, I'm going to set the colors. There is no baby type pink in this one, in this set at all, and that's one of the colors I would have liked. They did put in a salmon to kind of go with the peach, so you've got 2 choices there. You can find the salmon, there it is, right here. So you've got a lot in the peach range and with the oranges right here, but then when you get in again with your reds, we've got a red orange here, so you've got those to kind of bridge the gap, but not as much going with your reds. See, we've only got 2 reds, and I like having that lighter pink when I'm working. I use it a lot for a blender on when I'm working too, especially when you're working with reds. I like using that as my blender. Now next I went on to the fine line markers that I picked up with this. Again, this book, not the ideal book for fine line markers. It has a lot of really big areas in it, and when I'm coloring, I don't like to try to do really large areas with markers, just because you're going to end up having trouble getting even coverage and not making it streaky, or getting darker patches and lighter patches. I did notice with these fine lines that there was a little bit of bleed through right here. As you can, not a whole lot, just a little bit. So again, glad that it's one side designs in the book. But what I was really impressed with, when they say vibrant colors right here, they are not lying. That, to me, that pink was crazy vibrant. It is, to me, it looks a lot more like a baby pink on the cap. And so to kind of give I did a flower over here, and I really do like Crayola Super Tips for fun coloring in here. So I picked this one because I thought cap-wise it was the closest one in my set, and you can see the color difference. It is huge. This is a really fun bright magenta. You combine that with some purples, oranges, and yellows, and some lime green, and you're going to have a fun psychedelic coloring page that you'll have done. Now, one thing, I know I said I don't really care for these for layering. One thing you can do with these, and I'm going to pull out another coloring book to kind of show some effects that I have done in the past with this, is that you can take and put marker down first and then go back and put colored pencil on top of that. And I find that that is a great way to get some neat colors and things. So here is one, I just was talking about the color scheme that I've done, where I laid down marker first and then did some color pencil over top of it. And it kind of smooths out where your marker may not be as smooth. It gives it the chance to expand your palette a little bit with them so you can get a little bit more going. But if you're wanting to color something fast, it's nice because you can get it. And I mean, one of these done with the markers that way, you'll do that in a couple of hours, not like some of the other ones that I've done where it's taken a couple of days. Here's another one where we did marker and pencil as well. And you can kind of see I didn't put a background in this one. I was just having some fun playing with colors next to each other. Then also if I wanted to go in, and I'll show you this one, here's some leaves that were same technique. So I was able to kind of have some fun putting in a little bit of gradient on these, as well as I made these kind of look a little milky, which you can't do that with just markers on their own. But if you go back over with a white colored pencil, you can create those different layers. So overall, I would say that the Crayola is great if you're wanting to do something quick. I'm not going to say that these will necessarily be 100% frameable pieces for me or anything like that. I would prefer to use other pencils. I would probably even draw some of my own stuff if I was going to frame it. But if you're just sitting down to enjoy, you're not going to blow the bank buying this book and the pencils and the fine line markers. I mean, I was out at Target. I got these at Target. I got them for like less than $10. So not a huge investment that you're going to be making there if you're just doing this for a quick hobby. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to follow along a little bit more as we're growing in this journey together. Art happens in everyday life, so be sure you're watching for it. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.
Don't stop.